Is Matt Schlobohm with the Maine AFL-CIO.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning.
All right, we like to talk about brothers and sisters in the labor movement because we are all in this together. We represent working people, all working people, and try and fight for their rights. Workers have fought for decades to build basic systems to ensure economic security. Systems like unemployment insurance if you lose a job through no fault of your own. Systems like workers' compensation if you're injured on the job in a debilitating way. And systems like collective bargaining so that you can have a voice at work and have a greater say over your working conditions, your wages, and your benefits. Those systems have always been enormously important, and they're more important than ever in tough economic times. And there's a very deliberate effort this session that's speeding up, as it is with everything else at the end of session, to attack those systems, to undermine them, and ensure that they're not functional in the way that they should be to provide that basic economic security. So collective bargaining right. The legislature, in its infinite wisdom on party lines, recently voted to repeal the right to form a union for workers at DeCoster Egg Farms, a model employer that we all recognize for their outstanding activities for workers, the environment, public health, etc. So those workers no longer have the right to practice their First Amendment freedom of association and assembly. That's been taken away. The Labor Committee recently voted along party lines last week to repeal the rights of family child care providers to come together and collectively bargain and advocate for their rights, LD 1894. And now there's an effort to resurrect a public sector right to work for less bill that will do nothing but undermine the rights of public sector workers to have a voice and to advocate for themselves. Unemployment insurance, one of the most vital basic social safety net programs that we've seen more important than ever in this recession. There's an effort to weaken that, LD 1725. Maine has a very modest unemployment system. It's a solvent trust fund, and the governor all summer spent the summer using his favorite rhetorical frame, which is fraud, to try and stir fear in the minds that there's fraud in our unemployment system, which the data says is truly not a problem. So this bill, LD 1725, arbitrarily delays unemployment insurance for laid off workers, and it drives people more quickly into lower paying jobs, and it's fundamentally upside down priorities. It's not what we should be focused on in the worst recession we've seen in 70 years. And the last piece where there's an effort to undermine basic systems of security is around workers' compensation. Workers who are injured on the job in this state have a system to try and ensure that their health benefits are covered and that they have wage loss replacement so they can get back on their feet and get back to work. LR 2787 is still before the Labor Committee, and it would harm the most seriously injured workers and push them off of the system and off of wage replacement in an arbitrary manner and more quickly than it does today. And it runs counter to what we should be doing since costs in the system have been coming down and it's become a more efficient and effective system. So it's about priorities. These priorities are upside down, and we need to protect these basic systems that give working people some smidgen of economic security in very tough times. Thank you.